Welcome back to History of Simple Things. Today's topic comes from one of our viewers at Anderson 2557. Thanks for the great question. You asked, what exactly is lactose, and is it really why milk makes some people gassy? If you've ever enjoyed a glass of milk, poured it over cereal, or added cream to your coffee, only to feel bloated or uncomfortable afterward, you're definitely not alone. Milk has been part of the human diet for thousands of years. Yet for many people, it comes with some awkward side effects. So what's going on inside your body when you drink it? Stick around as we break down what lactose actually is, how your body is supposed to digest it, and why something so simple can cause so much trouble, right here, on History of Simple Things. Lactose is a type of sugar, but not the kind you sprinkle into coffee. Chemically, lactose is a disaccharide, meaning it's made of two smaller sugars bonded together, glucose and galactose. This sugar is found almost exclusively in milk and dairy products. Its biological purpose is pretty simple. It's an energy source designed specifically for newborn mammals. When babies drink milk, lactose provides easily accessible calories to fuel growth and brain development. On its own, lactose isn't sweet or harmful. The problem isn't the sugar, it's whether your body knows what to do with it. To digest lactose, your body relies on an enzyme called lactase. Lactase is produced in the small intestine, and its job is to split lactose into glucose and galactose, the forms your body can actually absorb. In infancy, humans produce a lot of lactose. This makes sense, since milk is the primary food source. But as we grow older and stop relying on milk, many bodies gradually reduce lactase production. For some people, this reduction is minor. For others, lactase levels drop dramatically. When that happens, lactose doesn't get broken down properly, and that's where the trouble begins. When lactose isn't broken down in the small intestine, it passes into the large intestine mostly intact, and that's when your gut bacteria step in. The bacteria in your colon love sugar. When they encounter undigested lactose, they ferment it. This fermentation process produces gases like hydrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. That gas builds up inside your digestive system, leading to bloating, pressure, and flatulence. At the same time, undigested lactose pulls water into the intestines, which can cause diarrhea or cramping. So yes, lactose itself isn't gassy, but when your body can't digest it, your gut bacteria turn it into gas. Lactose intolerance isn't a disease. It's actually the biological default for most humans. Historically, humans didn't consume milk beyond early childhood. In many populations, lactase production naturally declines after weaning. Today, about 2/3 of the world's adults have some degree of lactose intolerance. However, certain populations developed a genetic mutation called lactase persistence, which allows them to keep producing lactase into adulthood. This trait became common in regions where dairy farming was essential for survival, such as parts of Europe, the Middle East, and East Africa. So whether milk makes you gassy often comes down to genetics, not weakness, sensitivity, or diet trends. Not everyone with low lactase experiences the same symptoms. Some people can tolerate small amounts of dairy, while others react strongly to even a splash of milk. Several factors affect this: how much lactose you consume at once, your individual gut bacteria, how fast food moves through your digestive system, and whether you eat dairy with other foods. For example, Drinking milk on an empty stomach often causes stronger symptoms than eating cheese as part of a full meal. That's why some people can eat pizza but feel awful after a glass of milk. Interestingly, lactose isn't always the full story. Milk also contains proteins like casein and whey, which can cause digestive discomfort in some people, even if they're not lactose intolerant. Others may react to the fat content in whole milk, which slows digestion and increases bloating. There's also the gut microbiome to consider. Two people with the same lactase levels can experience very different symptoms depending on the types of bacteria living in their intestines. So while lactose is the main culprit, it's not the only possible reason milk can upset your stomach. Here's where things get interesting. Yogurt, kefir, and some cheeses contain lactose, but often cause fewer problems. That's because fermentation partially breaks down lactose before you even eat it. The bacteria used in making yogurt and kefir produce their own lactase, reducing the overall lactose content. Hard cheeses like cheddar and Parmesan are also low in lactose, because most of it is removed with the whey during processing. This explains why many lactose-intolerant people can tolerate certain dairy products, but not others. While uncomfortable, gas from lactose fermentation isn't dangerous. It doesn't damage your intestines or indicate serious illness on its own. However, persistent symptoms shouldn't be ignored. Conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, milk protein allergies, or gut infections can mimic lactose intolerance. If dairy consistently causes pain, severe bloating, or digestive distress, it's worth paying attention, not pushing through it. Lactose isn't bad, milk isn't broken, and being gassy after dairy doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Understanding lactose helps explain why milk affects people so differently, and why dairy has such a complicated reputation. In the end, it's not about avoiding milk altogether, but about knowing how your own body responds to it. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.